Welcome to Yin Yoga for a Grateful Heart. Gratitude is such an important practice for us to implement daily and even constantly throughout our lives. And today's super simple, really nice and calming Yin practice is going to implement gratitude throughout. In today's practice, I am going to use a yoga bolster. And if you don't have a yoga bolster, you can pull some pillows off of your bed or off of your couch. I am bringing the stone citrine to my mat with me. Citrine is known as the happy stone. Literally just looking at this one, it makes me smile. You probably can't see it from a little far away, but there are rainbows inside of this one. Citrine varies from a really kind of cool toned amber color to a dark amber and anything in between. It sometimes appears to have really gold and yellow tones to it. So just literally looking at it can make your lips turn up. But I encourage you today to find a stone that resonates with what you're grateful for. So this practice is truly going to be unique to you. Your intention behind it is going to be unique to you. And so your stone should really reflect that as well. Find the one that you resonate with and that you're kind of drawn to for today's practice, and then bring that to your mat with you. You can either place it somewhere around your body if it's a little larger stone, or if it's smaller, then you can hold it on your body in your hands, maybe place it to your heart, your third eye center, or anywhere else on your body that you're really resonating with during practice. I'm going to meet you on your mat in Child's Pose. Welcome to your mat, and thank you so much for being here with me today. I am super excited to practice in gratitude with you. Before we get started, I wanted to point out to you that I have placed my citrine right at the top of my yoga mat, so it's there once I get into Child's Pose. It'll be by my headspace. You can place yours anywhere around your mat that feels good. And I wanted to point out as well that my yoga bolster is off to the side. However, you can utilize your bolster or your pillow a couple of ways in Child's Pose. If you feel like there's pressure on your knees, try placing it underneath your hips for a little bit of a lift up, and that should hopefully take the pressure off. Another really nice way to use it is underneath your chest. So once we reach forward into Child's Pose, just placing a cushion underneath you lifts the floor up a little bit, and it's a super comforting way to be in Child's Pose. And to get started, we're going to spread our knees out just a little bit. Draw your big toes towards touch. You might adjust your legs into a different position once we actually reach forward into the pose. We'll place our palms down on our thighs and close your eyes for a moment. Here, just allow your breath to relax. Don't worry about a certain rhythm. Don't worry about a certain capacity. Just begin to notice and relax your breath. Start to shift your thoughts to something that you are grateful for today. It might be something quite obvious. It might be something that you really need to dig a little deep for, or that you see the silver lining with. And if you'd like, you can place your right hand to your heart and your left hand on top of your right hand. And just sit with that thing in your heart for a moment. How it makes you feel. Maybe your lips start to smile, your eyes start to squint a little bit just thinking about it. And I encourage you today within your yin practice to keep this thing strongly in your heart. Let your thoughts come back to it over and over again. If they stray, let this be the anchor that brings you back to your practice. If your hands are at your heart center, you can go ahead and place them back to your quads, Let's exhale our breath out. Find an inhale, really lengthen through your spine. And on your exhale, start to walk yourself forward. So you might spread your knees out a little bit more. This is the place where you might decide that you would love to utilize a prop underneath your hips or underneath your chest. Reach your arms forward in front of you. And I'm going to offer up to you a posture with your hands today. If you'd like to take this variation, it's reverse namaste. We'll draw our palms together and then bend through your elbows. So you're sending your thumbs towards the base of your neck. You'll probably notice this as a heightened stretch through your triceps and even down through your side body. If it's uncomfortable, come to whatever position with your hands does feel good. Once you've settled in towards your starting position, again exhale your breath out and find another lengthy inhale. Big sigh, deepening into your pose, just melting into this position. Come back to the thing that you're grateful for today. And getting ready to unravel, you can take your hands back down in front of you if your elbows were bent and your palms behind you. And super slowly press up towards a tabletop position. So we're going to just take some light cow and cat poses, some movement through our spine here. On your next inhale, drop your belly down lightly. Send your gaze in front of you. Then exhale your breath, press into your palms, round up through your spine. Inhale, drop down through your belly. Just follow your own pace of your breath here. Exhale, round up into cat. And take one more. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, press and round. And come back to a neutral tabletop position. From here, we're going to drop down onto our belly into Sphinx Pose. So to set up in Sphinx, I always like to take my elbows just slightly in front of my shoulders. This is a really active pose within our upper body. So you're going to be drawing your forearms down and back to literally send your heart forward. So as you're taking this action, strongly come back to that thing that is in your heart. Send it forward and allow it to lead the way. Your gaze can be lifted and up if it feels good. Feel some length in through the back of your neck. Or if it feels better, you can send your gaze down towards your mat. So we've got all of this activation through our upper body. Our breath is active. Our heart is reaching forward. You can probably feel the muscles in your back really activated. Your gaze might be upwards. It's very yang with this energy. So next, see if you can keep this activation in your upper body, but relax through your lower body. You might encourage your heels to fall out away from one another. Let your toes turn in towards each other. You might shake your legs out just a little bit to encourage some relaxation. Keep your breath strong. Keep what you're grateful for today in your heart. Take 3 more strong breaths here. And when you're ready to change, we're going to come into Crocodile Pose. So open your elbows out away from one another. Place the palm of your left hand down on your mat in front of you, and then the palm of your right hand on the back of your left hand. Then you'll place your forehead down on the back of your right hand. This time, go for total body relaxation. Let everything melt. Exhale your breath out. Find an all over body inhale. Big one, fill up. And hugely sigh it out. Connect to the ground underneath you. Feel it underneath your left palm, underneath your elbows, underneath your heartbeat, your belly, your legs, the tops of your feet. And allow yourself to connect and continue to be immersed in what you're grateful for. And then lift your head up off of the back of your hand. We're going to move into open wing pose. So you'll stay down on your belly. I'm going to sit up just to show you what I'm doing with my arms in open wing. So I'm going to place my right hand underneath my right shoulder just like this. So my palm is down, my fingers are spread out. My left arm is going to open up away from my body. So the secret to this pose is that the closer your hand is down towards your feet, so down towards the ground, the less sensation you're going to have through your shoulder. The higher up towards your head, the more sensation that you'll have. So I always like to kick this off, not even straight out from my shoulder, but down a bit, just to kick it off in a gentle way, but then knowing that I can always reach my arm up a little higher if I want to. And I would grab your pillow or your bolster and we'll keep it along the right side of your body to kick this pose off. You might really utilize this in front of you. So I'm going to place this here for now to show you how I can use that bolster. So laying down on your belly, right hand comes underneath your right shoulder. Your left hand is going to stretch out away from you. Then you'll press into your right hand and roll your body towards your left arm. So I'm rolling away from that right hand. I like to bring my right foot back behind me in this pose. However, you might really like to keep that knee in front of you. And this is a really great place to use that pillow, and how you might utilize it is just place it along your body and then even place that right knee on top of your bolster, just to create more of a lifted floor and a gentle sensation right underneath that knee. So play with the placement of your left arm. Know again that you can walk it a little higher if that feels okay to you. Don't force anything here. So our shoulders are obviously a really important joint in our body. Anytime you have a sharpness come up in your joint, that is absolutely your cue to back off from whatever you're doing. And this pose varies so much from human to human. When I'm teaching in person, I see such a variety of placement and positions within this pose. And it can even vary in you from side to side, just based on What hand is your dominant? What actions you take just in your daily life. So allow yourself to adjust into what you need on each side today. Come back to your breath. Come back to what you're grateful for today. As we open up through our chest, through our heart center, and through our shoulders, this area in our body where we do hold so much gratitude and so much love, let it just take over. Last few breaths here. When you're ready to change, walk your hand that's outstretched, so that left arm back down towards your toes. I always walk it way down towards my toes before unraveling out of this position. And then you can just scooch your bolster off of to the side if you were utilizing one today, and come back to center. Let's come right back to Crocodile Pose, just to some stillness. You can place your right or your left hand down on the bottom with the other palm on top. Place your forehead on top of the back of your hand. Big inhale. On your exhale, relax your body, relax your mind and your heart. When you're ready, move into open wing on the other side. So if you are utilizing a pillow or a bolster, just scooch that guy over to the other side. This time I'm going to place my left hand underneath my left shoulder. My right arm stretches out. Just a reminder to start with that a little further down towards your feet, and you can always walk it up higher if you want to throughout the pose. Begin to push into your left hand this time, rolling towards that right arm. And maybe you're bringing your foot back behind you. Maybe you're playing with the bolster in front of you. And once you get into your comfy position with your prop or without your prop, then play with maybe walking that hand up a little bit. Notice where you need to be on this side. And then come right back to your calm breath and back to what you're holding in your heart. That thing that is causing you to smile today. Find your last few breaths on this side. And when you're ready, walk your fingers back down towards your toes. Push your prop out of the way. Roll back onto your belly. And we'll come right back to Crocodile Pose. One hand down to the floor, the other on top of it, and place your forehead to the back of your hands. Take an inhale. Take an exhale and melt down. Then send your hands underneath your shoulders and we'll press back towards Embryo Pose. So embryo is really similar to child's pose, except that we are drawing hips towards heels with knees towards one another. Then you're going to place your arms back behind you. So your forehead reaches down towards your mat, arms back behind you with your palms up to the sky. Feel your breath shift towards your rounded back body. Bowing down in awe of what is in your heart. Then send your hands underneath your shoulders, round up one vertebra at a time. Keep your eyes closed here. And once you sit up to a straight spine, place the back of your hands, so your palms, right back down to your thighs. Just take a few breaths. And we'll move next into our final posture today. So instead of offering up Shavasana for our final resting posture, I want to offer you an alternative of supported fish, which is the posture where we're lifting our heart up to the sky as we're laying down on our spine. So I am going to be leaving you in this posture today once I get you set up in it, and I encourage you to stay here 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever feels good to you and your body, and really just let yourself almost have a meditative experience with what you're holding in your heart throughout this practice, the thing that you are grateful for today. So to take supported fish with a pillow or a bolster, I love to just place it along my mat, and then I'm going to lay down onto it. And it kind of varies from prop that you're using. So mine is really long. I'm placing this right along the back of my hips. If you've got a shorter pillow, it might go directly underneath your heart center. You might even fold it in half to lift your heart up a little bit more. So play with that and see how it feels to you. And if you are using a crystal, you can continue to keep that at your head or wherever you've placed it on your mat, or you can actually place a smaller piece on your body as well. You'll lay down onto your prop and take a few moments, a few breaths here just to kind of situate yourself. Create the space where your heart is lifted a little bit higher than your hips. You can keep your legs extended straight out in front of you, or if it feels better in your body today, send the soles of your feet together. Open your knees out towards butterfly position. And you can keep your crystal in your hand or place it at your heart center. Start with your palms up to the sky, the backs of your hands on the ground. Exhale out your breath. Take an inhale and sigh it out. Shift your thoughts back to what you are holding in your heart today, what you're grateful for, what that thing means to you. Acknowledge it. Let yourself feel it. Let it be meaningful. And you can either choose to keep your palms facing the sky, or you can place one to your heart center, the other on top of it. When we allow our heart to lead the way, what we're grateful for to lead the way, life shifts perspective. We've all heard that quote that suddenly what we have is enough, and it's the truth. It allows us to keep putting one foot in front of the other in this journey of life. So I encourage you to find gratitude as often as you can. Let it be a daily practice for you. Let it be a constant practice throughout the day for you. And notice how things shift. I am so grateful for you, for your love and for your support, for sharing with me in this practice and for teaching me. I'm going to leave you today in this beautiful posture, so please stay as long as you can. And I cannot wait to see you next time on your mat. Namaste.